Sometimes at the end of the day, when you're done breathing life into an old Landcruiser and you finally get it running just right and all primed up to be sold, you have to yell, "Hot dog!" No, seriously, I mean hot dogs. Better cheddars, ballpark franks, you know, hot dogs. The most critical item to any camping trip or bonfire? I'm getting away from myself. Let's be honest, the most critical item is a truck, or even better, an iconic 1980s Toyota FJ60. I've been working on this 1985 Toyota for what seems like eons. The last item needed to put this old girl on the road was the biggest item of them all. The heart, the 4.2 liter bulletproof 2F straight 6 engine. And now, this brute is operating better than ever. To celebrate, I thought I would do what you do with an old four-wheel drive. You know, taking it on an adventure, a camping trip, or well, in this case, a pleasant evening by the fire, and you guessed it, a hot dog roast.
Coming out here the next day after we got this truck running and driving. It's all about trying to get her to run a little more smooth. We still have a little bit of cleaning to do in the engine bay. So here's just some of the stuff that we've been going over today. One thing is I removed the carburetor that I drove it on from North Carolina. I am gonna go with the original one that came on with this truck. This is a desmogged carburetor. All it has is the vacuum advance port on here, nothing else. So I did go ahead and clean that carburetor up a little bit. And here's a crown jewel, cleaned up the valve cover. I mean, look at that thing, it looks phenomenal. Went ahead and sandblasted that and then clear coated it. So I think it looks awesome. Really starting to give the look this truck deserves.
I got her idling real nice and smooth here with the desmog carb. So again, it's just a hookup, a block up, and a vacuum advance back here. This is a virgin ride on the new motor, quote unquote used motor from North Carolina. The truck is not smoking a single bit and it pulls as it should. Has a slight exhaust leak which will be needing to be tended to. But other than that, drives great.
I've said it once before, and I'll say it again. I am so thankful that I have parts trucks, because when your new truck project needs parts, you're able to get absolutely everything you need. So some of the things I was able to pull off from the parts truck was a hinge for the hood, a carb heater, which I haven't decided if I'm going to put that back on. A big one is the battery tray. That's somewhat a rare piece to find intact, so I'm going to clean that up, put that on, and most importantly, I needed a bell housing flywheel cover. So was able to actually clean this up in the parts washer at Classic Motors, and I think it turned out pretty well. I think with some black paint, it will look awesome. So let's work on cleaning some of this stuff up and putting it on. And just like that, a little paint and some elbow grease makes that flywheel cover look brand new. So I'm starting to clean up this battery tray, and one of the most creative battery trays I've ever seen was done by the previous owner, which I like what you're up to, Kellen, nice work. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's a plastic tray. He used the factory bolts in right there, and it's actually fairly sturdy, and he used a classic bungee cord to hold her down. So we're gonna change that up because I wanna make sure that this is all original, but good idea. Even the simple things get cared for on these trucks, like these little clips that are kind of hard to find. I know they make them new, but when you have a good replacement, it always helps. That needs to change. Don't worry. we have a new one. That's better. So as you can see, the hood does not have the insulator on it. I happen to have a used one here. This is actually the first time I've ever put one of these in. So we're gonna be using some of the factory clips, which they call Christmas trees. They look a little bit like that. So there's probably about 20 of them. I'm gonna use a mixture of those and some brand new ones. These brand new ones look like that. And we're gonna go ahead and try to put this thing up on the hood. So wish me luck.
Hey, it didn't turn out too bad. I think it looks great having a hood liner on there.
A couple things to note here, that this is one directional. You gotta make sure that you get the fabric on there correctly because there are these tabs in the back of the hood that need to be set in. I started at that point and then moved forward to make sure that all the Christmas trees set exactly the way they needed to. So when I was finished, I went ahead and folded those up a little bit to give it some more strength in holding it to the hood. But other than that, looks great. It is used, so a new one would be awesome, but gotta use what I have.
I went ahead and added a carb fan, which this truck did not come with one. I'm thinking about painting this and cleaning it up a little bit. For now, I just want to have it in there just to know that I have one. Next step is going to be adding one of these hinges that go on the hood here. For some reason, this one didn't have it, so we're going to add one in and make sure that it works good.
Oh, fancy meeting you guys down here. So we got to put a flywheel cover on, which I have right here. So let's get to work and do that. Woo-wee!
So I'm sitting here and I just replaced the dome light and I couldn't get it to work. I put new light bulbs in and then I moved to the one in the back there. Same thing, doesn't work. Couldn't figure it out. So I thought maybe it was the mechanism. So I took the old one out, got a really nice one. Same thing, doesn't work. Thought about it a little longer. So if you're having this issue, it could very well be that your fuse here is out. So on the fuse panel, it is that top one that says dome light. And sure enough, mine was burnt out. So we have a 7.5 fuse that's gonna go in there and we'll see what happens. Boom, got a dome light. As well as that annoying door open beeper, which is back here. So fun tip there, you can go ahead and disconnect that entire mechanism that makes that beep and that beep will be gone forever. But depends on how original you want your truck to be. This one's been grinding my gears forever. The shift boot does not go this way. It needs to be turned. It is only fastened by one bolt and it's all loose. So let's go ahead and get that all turned around and fixed. This is how the shifter should be sitting. So let's get some 4 bolts in there and get it fastened down.
So the next thing that I want to tackle is the bezels and grill. On this truck, all this stuff was broken. You can see the tabs here are broken off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a new grill on. These bezels were screwed on with the wrong screws. So we're gonna go ahead and get these little grommets from another parts truck, get those all back in place. As you can see, they're missing and some of them have been stretched. So we're gonna go ahead and put the right stuff in. So this is what the original grommets look like. They're yellow. They're almost like lips on the back where you can pinch them and they should be able to come through, as you can see. So on the back of these, they look like that. You squeeze the back of them and push, they'll come out. These are the original screws for the bezel. They're a little smaller. So we're gonna go ahead and pull all those out too. So we're going ahead and switching the Toyota emblem from one grill to the next. It's 3 screws back here. These can be very stuck, so I would suggest putting some penetrating oil on them so they don't strip out. Gone ahead and already taken this one off as this one is broken. So let's get this other one off, get it all fixed up. Another step complete on this old girl. The whole bezel and grill assembly is all in there as it should be and looks great. Still needs to be cleaned up, it's still very dirty, but once we do that I think it will really shine up well. Just went ahead and moved it into some shade. We are going to be pulling the interior out, start some major cleaning. Wow. Pretty creative way to fix a center console. With that not being the factory center console, look at this cool thing. So looks like there was a plate put where the original would go, a piece of wood that you could drill into, and got that thing in there. That's pretty cool, but we're gonna have to figure out a way to go back to factory because I'm not really into that. This thing is a complete utter mess in here. I have my work cut out for me. There is stuff and bugs and everything else in here that needs to be cleaned out. Holy smokes. Just got the AC blowing cold. I ripped the whole entire interior out and it looks like mice and every other type of animal has found a home in here. So that's the next step. We're gonna finish that stuff up next week. So take the weekend off. We'll see you in a couple days. Hey guys, welcome back. I had a great weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready to start cleaning this.
Well, if that bucket looks familiar, it is. It just means that it's time to wash this old FJ60. It's actually one of my favorite days when I get to do this because you actually get to see what you bought and what you have and what she's gonna look like. So this is what the truck looks like after being washed for the first time since it's been in my possession. I think she turned out pretty well. She might need a polish. You guys want to see me polish her, don't you? Dang it. Does that mean I need a polisher? I guess we're gonna polish her. Are you all happy now? Spent the remainder of this beautiful fall afternoon polishing this old girl for your viewing pleasure. I do have to admit, it does look pretty darn good. But we still have plenty more things to do to her in the upcoming weeks. I do believe that we have made tons of great headway so far. If you'd like to see what we're gonna do in the upcoming weeks, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe, like, and share these videos to stay up to date with what we do to her and for when she comes back online. Cheers, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next week.